My dear friends, if you have ever felt the quiet tug of life's greater possibilities, it is because your soul knows that there is a law, a perfect unseen intelligence, working always to bring you into harmony with your highest good. And yet too often the words that shape our earliest years are not the words that awaken the divine within us. Today I wish to give you the counsel that should have been spoken to you, that you may walk in freedom, prosperity, and joy. First, let me tell you this: your mind is the garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. If you plant fear, doubt, and limitation, you will reap a harvest of struggle. But if you plant faith, courage, and expectation, you will see miracles unfold before your eyes. There is no power greater than the law of your own thought, and there is no obstacle so great that it cannot be overcome by your own unwavering belief. The second counsel is this: release the burden of blame. Do not dwell upon the injustices of the past, the failures of your parents, the misunderstandings of the world. Blame is a heavy chain that binds the soul, but forgiveness and understanding are wings that lift you to freedom. Speak kindly to yourself, for the words you repeat to your own spirit become the very script of your life. Next, remember that every person you meet is but a reflection of your own inner state. If you see lack and limitation, it is because somewhere in your mind you have permitted it to exist. If you see abundance and joy, it is because you are ready to claim it. Do not wait for another to give you permission to succeed or to love. Your own thought is the key that opens every door. And now, the counsel that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Declare your good with courage. Speak aloud your desires as though they are already yours, for the universe is not deaf to the voice of certainty. Say, I am guided, I am prosperous, I am loved, I am fulfilled, and then step back, knowing that the invisible forces are moving to manifest your spoken word. Do not be afraid of your own greatness. Too often, the world teaches humility in the wrong way, as if your light must be hidden to please others. No, my friend, your light was never meant to be dimmed. Shine brightly, act boldly, and know that every act of courage, every word of faith, is a vibration that calls good into your life. Finally, trust the invisible. Do not fret over the how, the when, or the where. Your task is to see the outcome clearly, to speak it confidently, and to act in alignment with your highest ideals. The universe loves decisiveness, and it rewards those who know that what is theirs by divine right will never fail to find them. So take this advice, not as a lecture, but as a key. Plant it in your heart, water it with faith, and watch as the unseen intelligence of life arranges everything in perfect order for you. The wealth, the love, the health, and the success that you have always longed for are waiting. And remember, you are not alone. You are guided, and you are infinitely capable. Walk in this knowledge, speak it daily, and you will see that life, once mysterious and challenging, becomes a stage upon which your highest desires are joyfully fulfilled. Your thoughts are the most powerful force you possess, and yet, how often do we underestimate their power? From the earliest moments of our lives, we are taught to respond to circumstances, to react to the outer world as though it were a master of our destiny. When in truth, the outer world is only a mirror of our inner consciousness. Every event, every person, every situation reflects what we carry within. The first counsel that your father should have given you, and the one that will transform your life if truly understood, is this: your thoughts create your reality. They are the invisible seeds that, when nurtured, blossom into circumstances, opportunities, and experiences beyond your imagination. Consider for a moment the way nature works. A farmer does not plant seeds of wheat and expect a harvest of roses. Each seed contains within it the perfect pattern of its own manifestation, yet it requires care, nourishment, and faith to grow. So it is with your thoughts. Every thought you entertain is a seed, and unless you consciously choose what seeds to plant, your mind will grow whatever is most frequently nourished. Fear, doubt, worry, and envy are seeds of limitation and struggle, and if allowed to take root, they will produce a harvest of discontent. But faith, courage, joy, and expectation are seeds of abundance, and when cultivated, they bring forth opportunities, prosperity, and happiness beyond measure. The mind is a garden, and you are the gardener. To leave your garden untended is to invite weeds to overtake it. Those weeds come in the form of negative beliefs, inherited patterns of thought, and unconscious fears that have been passed down from generation to generation. They may appear as practical concerns, as limitations of talent or circumstance, or as feelings of unworthiness. These are the thoughts that society has taught us to accept, yet they are not truths. They are only accepted illusions that flourish because they are not challenged. The first step in creating the life you desire is to recognize that these limiting beliefs are not yours by divine right. They are the result of neglect and the failure to choose consciously the thoughts that govern your mind. Faith is the water that makes your seeds grow, and courage is the sunlight that allows them to flourish. Every time you think fear, you starve your garden. Every time you choose faith, you nourish it. When a person truly understands that thought is creative, there is no longer any need to beg, to struggle, or to worry. The outer world will conform naturally to the inner world. Prosperity is not a matter of luck or circumstance. It is a natural result of a mind disciplined to focus on abundance and not on lack. Those who prosper most quickly are those who understand that their words, their attitudes, and their mental images have power far greater than any external event or condition. It is not enough, however, to simply think positively in a casual or half-hearted way. The law is exacting and responds only to clear, sustained, and consistent mental images. If you wish for wealth, picture it as already yours. Feel the relief and joy of having it. Speak it aloud. Let no doubt arise to challenge your belief. If fear enters, acknowledge it and immediately replace it with a mental image of success. Every thought is a vibration, and the universe responds to vibration, not to wishful thinking. To doubt is to release a vibration that repels your desire. To believe is to relay a vibration that draws it irresistibly toward you. You may notice that some of your desires do not manifest as quickly as you wish. This is not because the law has failed. It is because your thought has not been consistent, or because you have allowed old doubts, fears, and limiting beliefs to block the natural flow of good. Just as a seed will not grow in rocky soil, so your mental seeds cannot flourish if the mind is cluttered with disbelief or negativity. Therefore, cultivate your thoughts with patience, attention, and care. Daily, speak affirmations of your good. Daily, visualize your highest ideals as though they are already accomplished. Make your mind a sanctuary of hope, a place where only the seeds of your highest good are planted. Understand also that the law works in ways that are often invisible. You may not see immediate results, yet the unseen forces are at work, arranging circumstances, people, and opportunities to fulfill the mental images you hold with unwavering faith. Never doubt that the invisible law is more powerful than any outer limitation. Just as the sun shines even when clouds obscure it, so the law of thought works even when appearances seem contrary. Those who are patient and steadfast, who refuse to be swayed by appearances, will see their visions unfold in ways far more magnificent than they could have imagined. Another point that is often overlooked is the importance of feeling in thought creation. Thought alone is like a seed without water. Feeling is the vital moisture that activates its power. When you think of abundance, wealth, love, or health, feel it as though it is already yours. Let joy, gratitude, and confidence flood your being. The combination of thought and feeling is the key that unlocks the doors of manifestation. The mind is a magnet. It draws to itself that which corresponds to the dominant mental and emotional vibrations it emits. Therefore, see clearly, speak boldly, and feel fully, knowing that every moment spent in faith is a moment invested in the harvest of your life. It is also crucial to guard against mental chatter that contradicts your good. Negative words, complaints, or resentful thoughts act as weeds in your garden, choking the life from your seeds. If someone speaks ill, if circumstances appear difficult, do not allow the mind to accept limitation as truth. Rather, return to your garden, prune away the negative thoughts, and water your seeds with renewed faith and expectation. The mind will obey what is most consistently impressed upon it, and with consistent attention, it will shape circumstances to match the reality you have created within. You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, and the creator of your world. To know this and act upon it is the first advice your father should have given you. Do not wait for the world to approve or acknowledge your power. It exists within you now. Every action you take, every word you speak, and every thought you allow will either support or hinder the manifestation of your highest good. It is a law. precise, and unfailing, and it works impartially for all who understand and apply it. Begin each day with this knowledge, that your mind is the fertile soil of infinite possibilities. Speak affirmations of success, love, health, and abundance. Visualize vividly the life you desire. Replace fear with faith, doubt with certainty, and worry with expectation. Guard your thoughts as a precious treasure, and know that the law will respond without fail, arranging every circumstance in perfect alignment with your inner world. As you discipline your mind and cultivate your garden of thought, you will find that life itself becomes a willing servant, ready to bring forth the blessings that your soul has longed for. The second counsel that your father should have given you, and one that will set you free from the chains of limitation, is the art of releasing blame and embracing forgiveness. How often do we carry burdens that are not truly ours? How often do we linger over the injustices of the past, the failures of those who came before us, or the misunderstandings and wounds of early life? Every moment spent in blame is a moment that weakens your connection to the infinite intelligence of life. The mind that clings to resentment, that dwells on wrongs or nurtures grievances, cannot be a fertile field for the manifestation of good. Just as a garden overrun with weeds cannot produce flowers, a mind consumed by blame cannot produce abundance or joy. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door to freedom, and understanding is the water that nourishes the soul, allowing it to rise above limitation and claim its rightful inheritance of happiness and prosperity. Understand that blame is a deception, a subtle way in which the mind attempts to justify failure or hardship by locating it outside of oneself. Yet the truth is that the outer world is never the source of limitation. It is only a reflection of the thoughts you have entertained. The parent who failed, the teacher who misunderstood, the friend betrayed. These are only mirrors reflecting the unhealed and unconscious beliefs within your own consciousness. To linger in blame is to continue to nurture those very beliefs, giving them power and perpetuating their influence in your life. The first step toward liberation is to recognize that holding another accountable for your life is a futile effort, for you are the creator of your own reality, and no one can deprive you of your joy except by your own consent. Forgiveness is not for the benefit of the offender. It is a gift to your own soul. When you forgive, you release the energy of resentment and free yourself to move forward. You cleanse your mind of the corrosive effects of anger, envy, and indignation, creating space for new thoughts, new ideas, and new opportunities to enter your life. Many have been taught that forgiveness is an act of weakness, that it is necessary only when prompted by moral duty or social expectation. But true forgiveness is an act of strength, a conscious recognition of the law of life that allows you to reclaim your power and assert your sovereignty over your own destiny. It is also important to understand that forgiveness is not a single act, but a process, a daily practice. Thoughts of grievance may arise again and again, and each time they do, you must gently release them, reaffirming your commitment to your own good and the well-being of your soul. Speak silently to yourself. I release this thought. I let it go. I am free. Repeat this until the old patterns dissolve and your mind becomes a sanctuary of peace and clarity. In this sacred space, where blame has no foothold, your creativity, your joy, and your prosperity can flourish without obstruction. Another principle closely related to forgiveness is understanding. To understand is to see clearly the circumstances of life as opportunities for growth, rather than as punishments or injustices. Every difficulty, every challenge, every disappointment carries within it a hidden blessing, and the mind that seeks understanding will find the lesson and release the pain. When you can perceive the world through the lens of understanding, you will no longer be a victim of circumstance, for you will recognize that life unfolds according to laws far greater than any human will, and that every event has its purpose in the shaping of your character, your wisdom, and your destiny. It is crucial to remember that forgiveness and understanding are not mere concepts to be contemplated. They are active forces that must be applied in daily life. Every time a thought of resentment arises, you have the opportunity to replace it with a thought of release, to exchange anger for compassion, and to see the situation from a higher perspective. Each act of conscious forgiveness strengthens the mind and expands the soul, allowing the invisible forces of life to move freely in your favor. Just as a river cannot flow through a dam, The blessings of the universe cannot flow to a mind blocked by blame. Remove the barrier, and the currents of prosperity, health, love, and happiness will sweep through your life effortlessly. The practice of forgiveness also extends to yourself. How often do we blame ourselves for past mistakes, for moments of weakness, for choices that seemed inevitable at the time? Self-blame is perhaps the heaviest burden of all, for it strikes at the root of confidence, self-esteem, and courage. Yet the law of life is impartial and forgiving. It does not condemn, it does not punish, it merely reflects the beliefs you hold. To release self-blame is to reclaim your creative power, to recognize that mistakes are merely lessons, and that every experience has contributed to the growth of your wisdom and the shaping of your destiny. Speak kindly to yourself, treat yourself with understanding, and affirm that you are worthy, capable, and deserving of all good. There is also a practical aspect to forgiveness that is often overlooked. When you forgive, you create harmonious relationships, not because the other person has changed, but because your perception has shifted. You are no longer imprisoned by resentment, and therefore your interactions are guided by clarity, compassion, and wisdom, rather than reaction, anger, or fear. This harmony draws good into your life, for the universe responds to vibration, and a mind free from blame emits a vibration of freedom, power, and receptivity. Opportunities appear, doors open, and people are drawn to you in alignment with your inner state of peace and understanding. Let us consider for a moment the way that blame limits opportunity. When you are preoccupied with past injuries, you are focused on what is missing rather than what is available. Your attention is diverted from possibilities and solutions, and the creative energy of your mind is squandered in a futile effort to justify pain or assign fault. By releasing blame and embracing forgiveness, you redirect that energy toward constructive thought, toward the manifestation of good, and toward the cultivation of the life you desire. The mind, once unshackled, begins to attract circumstances that match its new state of freedom, and life responds with synchronicities, coincidences, and unexpected blessings that seem almost miraculous. Furthermore, the act of forgiveness strengthens faith in the unseen. When you let go of resentment and trust that the law of life governs all with perfect wisdom, you develop an inner certainty that allows you to move forward with confidence. You no longer need to manipulate, control, or struggle to prove yourself, for you understand that life is unfolding according to a higher intelligence that always brings good to those who align themselves with it. Trust replaces fear, patience replaces frustration, and peace replaces conflict. In this state, the mind becomes a fertile field in which the seeds of prosperity, love, and joy can flourish without obstruction. Every thought of blame you release, every moment of understanding you cultivate, is an affirmation of your sovereignty, an acknowledgement that you are the master of your own destiny. The mind that embraces forgiveness is the mind that attracts guidance, protection, and abundance. The heart that seeks understanding opens to joy, love, and inspiration. The soul that relinquishes resentment rises to freedom, power, and the fulfillment of its highest potential. Begin this practice today. Identify the grievances you have carried, the blame you have held, and the judgments you have made. See them clearly, acknowledge them, and release them. Affirm, I forgive, I understand, I am free. Speak it with feeling, believe it with certainty, and repeat it until it becomes the guiding principle of your life. Let no old wound, no perceived injustice, no limitation of circumstance cloud your vision of the good that is your birthright. As you cultivate this habit, as you make forgiveness and understanding the foundation of your daily life, you will find that not only are relationships transformed, but circumstances align with remarkable precision to support your highest good. The practice of forgiveness is not a single act of kindness. It is a daily alignment with the law of life. It is a conscious decision to release limitation and claim freedom. It is the recognition that the past has no power except the power you give it, and that the future is shaped by the thoughts, feelings, and intentions you hold in this present moment. By releasing blame and embracing understanding, you step into the fullness of your creative power, and you open the door to a life filled with opportunities, blessings, and miracles that reflect the law of good that governs all existence. The third counsel that your father should have given you, and one that will empower you to claim every blessing of life, is this: Speak your good boldly and trust the unseen. There is a law, invisible but exact, that governs the universe, and it responds unfailingly to the words you speak and the beliefs you hold. Your words are not mere sounds. They are creative forces, vibrations that set the entire cosmos into motion on your behalf or against you. To speak your desires with hesitation, doubt, or apology is to weaken your power. But to speak them with confidence, faith, and clarity is to call forth circumstances, people, and opportunities that align perfectly with your highest good. You must understand that the spoken word is a sacred tool, the instrument through which thought is crystallized into reality, and mastery of this tool is mastery of your own destiny. Every desire you hold within must be declared, not in timid whispers, but with the authority of one who knows that the law is faithful and exact. Do not be afraid to claim prosperity, love, health, or success as though it were already yours, for the universe does not see time in the way you do. It sees only the present vibration of your thought and word. Speak with certainty. I am guided. I am prosperous. I am loved. I am fulfilled, and feel the power of these statements vibrating through your being. As you affirm your good with unwavering conviction, you align yourself with the invisible forces that are forever arranging conditions to bring your spoken word into manifestation. It is vital to remember that the law responds to the strength and clarity of your declaration, not to the number of times it is spoken. A single, well-impressed word of faith can have more potency than countless words spoken with uncertainty. The key is consistency of belief, unity of thought, and the absence of contradiction in your mind. If fear, doubt, or complaint accompanies your declaration, it sends conflicting vibrations and delays the manifestation of your desire. Therefore, guard your thoughts as carefully as you guard your words. Do not speak what you do not wish to see manifested. Every careless word, every complaint, every negative observation acts as a seed that grows in your life until it is realized as a circumstance. When you speak your good, speak in the present tense. The law knows only the reality of the present moment, and it moves to create conditions that correspond to the vibrations you emit now. Say, I am wealthy, not I will be wealthy. Say, I am healthy, not I hope to be healthy. Say, I am happy, not I wish I could be happy. The universe responds to the clarity and immediacy of your word, and when you speak as though your desire is already realized, you release the hidden forces that bring it to material expression. Your words, combined with expectation and faith, act as a magnet that draws people, circumstances, and opportunities into perfect alignment with your good. Trust is the companion of spoken faith. To speak boldly is not enough if your heart harbors fear or doubt. Trust the unseen, the invisible law that never fails. Do not attempt to control the details, the how, the when, or the where of your manifestation. Your task is to see clearly, speak confidently, and act in harmony with your ideals. The law of life loves decisiveness, and it responds to those who know that what is theirs by divine right will inevitably find them. Worry, hesitation, and impatience are the enemies of manifestation, for they signal a lack of faith and obstruct the natural flow of abundance. Let your heart be calm, your mind be certain, and your words be bold, knowing that the unseen is working tirelessly on your behalf. There is also the power of imagination in conjunction with spoken affirmation. When you declare your good, picture it vividly in your mind, feel it with your emotions, and act as though it were already present. Visualization, combined with spoken word, strengthens the vibration of your desire and accelerates its appearance in your life. Create a mental scene in which your good is realized in detail. See the people, the places, and the circumstances that correspond to your ideal outcome. Feel the joy, the relief, the satisfaction that accompanies its fulfillment. The combination of clear mental imagery, emotional involvement, and confident declaration forms an irresistible call to the universe, which responds by arranging every detail to correspond to your inner vision. You must also be vigilant against the subtle voices of doubt, skepticism, and fear. These are the hidden saboteurs that creep into your mind and weaken the power of your spoken word. The world may tempt you to conform, to accept limitation, to doubt your worth, but you must rise above these influences. Guard your mind as a treasure, Fill it with images and words of your highest good, and refuse to entertain thoughts that contradict your desire. The universe does not differentiate between a weak affirmation and a strong one. It responds to the dominant vibration of your consciousness. Therefore, cultivate the habit of consistent, unwavering speech and thought aligned with your highest ideals. Action, too, must follow declaration. While the spoken word sets the law in motion, your actions are the tangible expression of your faith. Act in ways that reflect the reality you have declared, even if circumstances seem contrary. Bold, inspired action signals to the universe that you are ready and deserving, and it opens the channels through which your good can flow. Hesitation, indecision, or half-hearted effort can delay manifestation, for the law moves in harmony with those who are aligned in thought, word, and deed. Let your deeds echo your words, and let your life be a testimony to the power of spoken faith. It is also important to speak your good in a spirit of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful amplifier of the spoken word, for it signals to the universe that you recognize and appreciate the good that is already present. When you combine declaration with sincere appreciation, you create a magnetic force that draws more of the same into your life. Begin each day with affirmations of gratitude, acknowledging both the visible and invisible blessings that surround you. Let your words be a reflection of the abundance already present in your life, and you will find that more flows to you effortlessly and joyfully. Every spoken word of faith carries with it a creative charge. Words of doubt, fear, complaint, or resentment carry a destructive charge. Therefore, choose your words with the utmost care. Speak only what you wish to see realized. Speak only that which elevates, inspires, and aligns with your highest ideals. As you cultivate this discipline, you will discover a remarkable truth, that life itself bends in response to the clarity, faith, and courage of your declarations. Doors open, opportunities present themselves, and people appear who serve the fulfillment of your spoken word. Finally, remember that the spoken word combined with trust in the unseen is the most powerful tool you possess. It is the key that unlocks the door to abundance, love, health, and happiness. Speak boldly, act decisively, and trust that the law of life is arranging all things in perfect order to bring your good to manifestation. Never underestimate the power of your words, for they are the instruments through which the invisible becomes visible, the intangible becomes tangible, and the dreams of your soul are transformed into the reality of your life.